Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today's Action Feeder presents Die Hard from 1988, starring Bruce Willis. Deleted scenes will be joining me shortly. I do have a screening room if you're not over there already. The link is posted in chat. Let me go back to comments. I think YouTube is messing with me or something. I made a typo when I first posted it. I accidentally hit the B, and I was trying to correct that. But they wouldn't let me correct it because the stupid heart thing, or they took away the dot that allows me to edit that stuff. I feel like such a cotton-knitty nincompoop. Oh well. Anyway, the screening room's there. So this is an action flick from 1988. From 1988. Is it a Christmas movie? Most of us already consider it a Christmas movie. You've probably seen it all before, but it's a fun action flick, and we're gonna watch it here. You know, if you're joining us here today, you catch us a replay. We can't actually show these things on YouTube because copyright law, and they'll nail us. And I'm not a major network, so I have to go to an alternative source to actually show it, so it can be a true action long. I gotta go back to StreamYard, turn off that background. Anyway, let's see. Hello, Words and Pictures. Good to see you, as always. And it looks like you're okay. You're on your way. No worries. Okay. Anyway, the synopsis. Facing Christmas 3,000 miles away from his estranged wife and two children, a New York policeman, John McClane, flies to L.A. Bearing presents and hoping to patch up his marriage. Hans Gruber is in L.A. as well. He's not there to give out presents. He's there to take more than $6 million in bearer bonds. You know the story. You've heard it before, especially if you've seen it. Anyway, yes. Anyway, this is a great one. It's rock and roll. Let me go to the screening room and load it up, and we'll get underway. Alrighty. And we'll go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, go. '20th century logo. Hey, Akame, how's it going? How you doing? Fish with your toes. Cute flight attendant making flirty eyes with him. Can you blame her? Christmas speech. Yeah. Come on. I think the argument is this a Christmas movie? Office Christmas party, Christmas music. It's definitely a Christmas movie, right? I don't even know why that's an argument. Totally a Christmas movie. Yeah. But you love it though, right, Lady V? California. Christmas present. Yeah. Mhm. Hail, emotionally unstable amphibian. Good to see ya. Screening room's there. If you want to join us. I wonder how many people know about that novel. That it was a novel first. I'm sure more people know the movie than they know the novel. John McTiernan. Yeah, I don't. I haven't read it either, but I've sure seen this movie a bunch of times. It's kind of like one of those Christmas tradition movies. You gotta watch it every year or every other year or every couple of years. You know, good flick, good clean action, fun for all. What do they call that technology? Uh, Touch screen computer. Oh. How am I feeling? Feeling great. Feel great, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, John X. That was a crazy good time we had this morning, huh? God may cry X. Welcome, deleted scenes.
Whoa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're exactly 12 minutes 47 seconds into the film. Cody Guy, what's going on, man? Good to see you. She got a fancy Rolex for Christmas. The boss.
All right. I am synced up with my own copy. And of course, my channel up and running since the beginning. So you've missed absolutely nothing. I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chat, including Lady V Elements, Cody Guy, X God Me Cry, and of course, Words and Pictures. Emotionally unstable amphibian is also with us.
Yep.
And of course, dare I say it, one of my favorite movies of all time, Die Hard. And here we get more set up. They're basically starting to fight that they never quite got to finish. Kind of get the idea where their relationship is at this point.
You can find God May Cry X here on YouTube. Please go. He's been making karaoke tracks, and he's at 90 subscribers today, and hoping to get to 100 by the end of the year, before the year's out. And we also want to help our friend Deleted Scenes here get to 300. But if you could go check out God May Cry's channel and subscribe,
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it. We had a great time singing karaoke, Christmas songs,
Yeah,
mostly Christmas songs.
I'm sorry I couldn't join you guys for that, but yeah, it was seemed pretty epic. I mean, I went to sleep and you guys were on. I woke up and you're still on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was a crazy good time.
right on.
I was ready to wrap it up, and we had some late joiners, and was like, well, I said, well, okay, I guess we're getting extra karaoke then.
And of course, you have our villains now entering the building. Carl, played by Alexander Goodenough, and Theo, played by Clarence Gilliard Jr.
I've only seen that blonde in one other movie. He was in The Money Pit with Tom Hanks, Shelley
And
Long.
he was in Witness as well. And I think he was into Runestone as well, but I can't remember. Which was like a kind of like an independent horror film. And of course, in his first movie, Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber, tonight's villain. One of the greatest screen villains of all time, I think. Okay.
Well, words that the stream's up. It's there for you to join back if you choose to go back and hear some of it.
Hey guys, here's my cat Trouble.
Kitty Trouble.
He doesn't like to be held, so I'm going to put him down.
Yeah, he might. It would look like he was about to go thug kitty on you.
Yeah.
The Huey Lewis and the News look alike. That one guy. For the longest time, I couldn't tell if that was Huey Lewis or not. It sure does look like him.
He does. He does look a lot like Huey Lewis. That actor is Dennis Hayden, and he actually was in a number of 80s era action films. He's also in 48 Hours, and he's also in Action Jackson.
And, that Carl Weathers action film. That was actually pretty good.
And this actor here who plays Tony, who's Carl's brother, is Andreas Wisniewski. And if he looks familiar, he's also been in a couple of the Mission Impossible movies. And he's also in The Living Daylights, which was the first Timothy Dalton James Bond film. And here's an interesting tidbit, because the book was brought up earlier in the discussion. And here is one difference between the movie and the film. In the book, Tony is not Carl's brother. He's actually Gruber's brother. And pretty much the same thing happens to him in the book that happens here in the movie. So. And there's actually another difference between Hans in the book and Tony. Um, their names are switched. Gruber's name in the book is Anton, and they call him Tony. And the brother, who's Tony in the movie, his name is Hans. So why they switched it for the film, I don't know. But there's a number of interesting little changes that I'll go into as we go further into the movie. And of course, here we go. And hello. little, little gratuitous nudity there. It was the 80s. And if anyone wants to know what they are saying to each other in German throughout the movie, you're going to have to ask someone who speaks German because I have no idea. And it's not translated at any point during the film, so we're kind of stuck with it.
Hello, Mike and Mike's DVD Blu-ray connection. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. We are we are watching Die Hard, of course, and we can't actually show these on YouTube, copyright. So we have a screening room. The link, I believe, is in the chat. Time step is at 26:52.
And hello, Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection.
No problem, Mike.
And this is cool how they do this, because you get the layout of the building, or at least the main points that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the movie. It's pretty well set up.
They have some really cool models in here. I'll
Mm-hmm.
give that.
Now, another difference between the book and the film, Takagi is not a character in the book. He is made up completely for the film. It was not a Japanese company. It was the LA branch of like a Texas oil company. And the boss man was a guy named Rivers. And pretty much has kind of the same thing happen to him here too. So, and hello, Connie Clary.
Welcome, Connie.
And this is the first inkling that things are not as they appear. Because throughout the movie, you're led to believe they're terrorists, but they're really not. They're you know. Yeah, I know, right, Mike? And those of you who've been following my channel will know that I recently had the chance to see this movie on the big screen for the first time since 1988. Yes. A lot of
It's
fun.
always great when you could watch them on the big screen again.
And hello, Pops.
Pops! How you doing, Pops?
If you check out Pop's channel, he did a show, I believe yesterday or the day before, about Die Hard. So please check out that stream. Talk Heart Tuesday. Okay, cool. So go back and
Cool.
check out Talk Heart Tuesday on Pop's channel for Die Hard edition. And of course, Argyle has not heard a thing.
Our time
It's
step is
yeah.
32:46.
It's pretty funny how they're well into the siege before Argyle knows what's even going on. And Argyle is played by an actor named Deborah White, and if he looks familiar to you, 80s kids, he was in the TV series Head of the Class. And he's also in Trespass with Ice Cube and Ice-T and Bill Paxton.
As I was just calling out the timestamp a second ago, I
Mhm.
realized this film moves very fast. I mean,
It does.
it,
Yeah.
it's not slow paced whatsoever.
No, it's very well paced. If you look at kind of closely at a few of Gruber's henchmen here, you might recognize a few people along the way from other films, and a couple of the background hostages might look familiar as well. Now, some people think that this is a continuity error right here. It really isn't, because as you see, Tony does not keep his eyes off of the area that McClane was hiding behind. But if you notice, McClane is already starting to move away before Tony rounds the corner, and that's how he got behind him.
Really, that's cool, pops.
Oh
He
yeah.
he actually worked in the at the theater when this opened. That would have been so cool. Always wanted to work at a theater. Never did though.
he does a good job of not blinking, even when his head is being moved, and he's dead for a long time here.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. And of course, here's the whole through line with the the fact that he's barefoot.
Alan Rickman, what a talented actor that he is. What a sad loss.
Mm. Right. Now, the woman who screams there when she sees the body in the elevator is an actress named Rebecca Broussard, and she was at the time dating Jack Nicholson.
Clever way to get some intelligence.
Mm-hmm. You see, I like that. Carl is not dumb. You know, he's not just a dumb henchman. He's thinking, hey, this guy could screw up your plan. You know?
You know, when I first viewed this film, I thought she said Dick Cocky. I'm like, what is who's Dick Cocky? I'm like, what? It took me many years later after several viewings to say they were saying the boss's name.
Yeah.
Am I ordering a pizza?
The first time I ever remember seeing a Steyr Og in a movie.
Cute the TV dad.
Oh, yeah.
I believe his name was Carl on Family Matters.
Reginald Vell Johnson, of course, from Family Matters. And I actually got to meet him because I was
Really?
an extra in the movie that he did right after this. And when we get to it, I'll tell you about a stunt that kind of went wrong with him. Dead end. I saw this the first time. I'm like, did he get him? Nope. Pretty close, though. Of course, it might have been better for that guy if McClane had gotten him right then instead of how he winds up doing it later. You know.
long way down.
Oh, indeed. It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good effect because obviously they're not that high up, but they're high up enough. The visual effects in this movie hold up. When it came to the Oscars that year, Die Hard was nominated in 4 categories: visual effects, uh, sound and sound editing, before that became one category, and film editing. Uh, Unfortunately, they lost them all to Roger Rabbit. So,
I don't blame your words and pictures.
yeah.
What can I do you for?
Splash two. Mm. Okay.
Light
All
bulb.
right. Now, yeah. Okay. So I said earlier that there was a stunt that went wrong. And I heard this from Reginald Vell Johnson himself. When they dropped the dummy body onto the car, and of course, it's not real glass, it's all candy glass, but it can still cut you if you're not careful. And he took a shard in the leg of glass when that when the dummy hits the windshield.
Speaking of Roy Rogers, we're gonna get some Roy Rogers westerns in the new year.
And of course, many of you from the 80s, you're going to recognize Mary Ellen Trainor there, who plays Gail Wallens. She also plays this character in Ricochet. And of
Welcome
course,
LDG, free the net.
Was in the Lethal Weapon movies and was at one point married to Robert Zemeckis. And unfortunately, she's passed away since this film was made.
She was in a great Tales from the Crypt episode that had
Oh,
Santa
yeah.
Claus in it
Yeah.
in the first season.
I think that might have been the first episode, actually.
Yeah,
For one of them. Yeah.
it was one of the few. Yeah.
All through the house.
Our timestamp's 1 hour, 4 minutes, 15 seconds.
We're at about the halfway mark of the film. Chief Inspector Idiot over here. Dwayne Robinson, played by Paul Gleason, of course, from probably most well known from The Breakfast Club and Trading Places.
Yep. Another 80s staple actor.
Yeah. Started out in television in the late 60s. I caught an Adam 12 episode once that he was in. Now, to go back into the book version, um, the book was entitled Nothing Lasts Forever, written by a guy named Roderick Thorpe. And it was actually a sequel to a previous book he had written called The Detective, which was itself made into a movie, I think in 1968, with Frank Sinatra. And it is the character that Sinatra played in the movie who gets stuck in the building. His name is Joe Leland in the book. And he's in L.A. not to see his wife, but his daughter. So that's one of the major changes. And they, of course, went to Sinatra first to be in this movie because he had the first look deal. If the detective ever got a sequel, he got first look at the script. But of course, by this point, he was 70 years old, so he's not going to be crashing through any windows or you know you know getting any real fight scenes. So Joe Leland becomes John McClane, and the rest is history. Bruce wound up with the part. I mean, they went to probably just about everybody, in Hollywood of that age group, you know, to play McClane. But wound up with Bruce. Because you got to understand, folks, at the time, Bruce Willis was pretty much just known for Moonlighting, which was a comedy series. It was romantic comedy. So his playing a part like this was not expected. He was out of the box casting. And this is kind of the beginning of the partnership between McClane and Powell. Powell has an idea that McClane is a cop by some of the things that he said previously. And of course, Robinson, because he's kind of that cliched 80s police captain who likes the sound of his own voice more than paying attention to what's going on around him. He doesn't quite catch on to what's going on just yet, but he's gonna. A little bit late, but he's gonna.
Yeah.
And of course, here Argyle's finally figured out that
He's
shit's
locked
going
in.
down, and he's trapped now in the parking garage because the building's been locked down.
This Asian actor guy, he was in a lot of action films.
Oh yeah, he's in Lethal Weapon. He's in Black Rain. Um, he's an actor and stuntman. And
Last
this
Action Hero.
Last Action Hero. And this little bit here was actually not scripted. This is something he did, and
The writer,
kind of, yeah,
I bet you the director liked it and just kept it in there.
yeah, yeah. It kind of endeared you to the character a little bit. It kind of humanized him. He's they've taken over the building, right? And he's looking around to see if anybody will see him swipe the candy bar. It's a nice bit. And apparently, it is scripted. He was supposed to die like really early on in the film, but because of that little bit there, they kept him. Yeah, and here's a little bit of Robinson's arrogance coming out here because they think that this 4-man SWAT team is going to be able to handle the situation, and as he's about to find out, that's not the case. And hello, Dulcimerist.
Hey, Dulcimeris.
Good to see you. We're about an hour and 12 minutes and 50 seconds into Die Hard.
Yep. I'm like, when he said RV, when he first said that, I'm thinking luxury camping vehicle.
And the fella who gets stuck in the elevator there is one of the villains. If he looks familiar, he's Wilhelm von Homburg, and he was Vigo the Carpathian in Ghostbusters 2. Kind of a rough life. He was kind of in real life something of a gangster, and in and out of trouble, and he passed in 2004.
Hey, Mikey.
Hello, Mikey.
Lady Mist. How are you, Lady Mist?
You see, they used the same shot twice there. Yeah. Vigo and I will rule the world. Well, mostly Vigo. Yeah, that was a good cameo. Yeah.
The Titanic has arrived.
Well, better late than never.
We're gonna need some more FBI guys.
And of course, speaking of Ghostbusters, William Atherton, who of course was Walter Peck. He also plays the same character in the sequel, Die Hard 2. And I first saw him in the miniseries Centennial.
Who you gonna call? Yes.
Yes, good tidbit there, Mikey. Yes, Reginald Vell Johnson. This is Reginald Vell Johnson's birthday. Yes,
Oh,
71.
wow. That would make him born in 1953. We're organizing a poll for you. Average Eddie's yuppie with doing a bump. Insta movie idiot.
And Ellis is played by Hart Bachner, who was in Terror Train back in 1980 with Jamie Lee Curtis. And he did a lot of television. And I think directed some things too later on.
He's read the ingredients quite a bit. They did make a video game of the movie Die Hard on the PlayStation console. I loved playing it. It was the greatest game. Yeah, Lady V. And I believe
Yeah.
Central City is like supposed to be like near where Universal Studios is there.
Hmm. I like that shot. It kind of makes it look like you can see right through his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember in the theater, somebody went, "Ew."
Oh yeah, Mikey. He was. Willis is a great. It's just sad now that he can't act as this state. Comes with age.
And they've lost so many guys at this point that Gruber kind of now has to leave the audience do things himself.
I laughed so hard at this scene because they're just the media is just clueless and just had to report on something.
The crowd applauds as Mr. Ellis is helped off the movie.
What a breath bit.
Yeah, me either, Mikey. Now, here's another difference between uh, the book and the film. Is in the book, the McLean character Leland knows the FBI agent, and they're friends. So they knew each other previous to this incident taking place.
I thought when Alan Rickman has this fake English American accent, he did pretty good. Hey, rough girl, how you doing? Were there any films that Alan Rickman did where he had an American accent? I'm trying to think.
Well, I don't know. Not that I remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if he did an American accent in January Man or not, but he's such an off kilter character in that one anyway, because he's basically the comedy sidekick in that movie. Believe it or not. But yeah,
That's the one with Kevin Kline, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't brought up Bonnie Bedelia yet. Plays Holly, and again, someone who had a number of major credits. Heart Like a Wheel, where she plays Shirley Muldowney, and she was also in the 1976 Salem's Lot.
Hmm.
Mhm. You were saying, and Goodbye Franco. Oh, red light.
Bad German. Yeah, I would it like to be you right now, John? There goes the minibar. Yes, words and pictures. High tech electromagnets are high tech. Wonderful 80s.
And of course, the kitty shot was Urkel. Thank you and good night.
Did I do that?
Dulcimeris, you're not alone. Like he says, Willis about Rickman, he's one of the best villains ever. He's just so good. Willis said of his co-star, speaking of Die Hard, which would prove a box office hit and spawn 4 sequels. Um, I like to think of it as 3 sequels. Yeah, Spy Hunter was good. Yeah. Now the technician in the manhole here is a guy named Rick Dukeman, and he started out as a stand-up comedian. He won Star Search one year, which was kind of like the '80s equivalent of America's Got Talent. And he went on to be in a number of movies. Hunt for Red October, Last Boy Scout, and The Burbs.
I remember playing Spy Hunter, but never GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
I believe that was on the N64.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a kind of an interesting twist in the fact that Gruber's whole plan hinges on the fact that they're going to do exactly what they do.
That's a big ass fault for that
Yeah.
building.
Ed McMahon did hold Star Search. Yes, he did. Robert Davi, of course, another kind of major staple.
Goonies.
Yeah, Goonies. And of course, he was a Bond villain, License to Kill.
Yep. Yep.
And his sidekick, who is also Agent Johnson. There are three
Yeah.
characters named Johnson in this movie for some reason. But the other Agent Johnson is another character actor named Grand L. Bush. And if he looks familiar, he was also in Lethal Weapon 2, Colors, and Streets of Fire. Yes, you are correct. Heyo. Weird, wild. I remember the bit where they had an episode where they brought Carvey back as a host, and the OJ trial was going on, and Johnny Carson is one of the attorneys. Your witness, Mr. Carson. Okay, chat, here's a question for you. Better Johnny Carson impersonator, Dana Carvey or Rich Little?
I'd go with Rich Little. He was pretty good.
Mikey says Simon Peter Gruber, played by Jeremy Irons, was a great revenge brother for Hans in Die Hard with Vengeance. Okay, so this leads back to something that I want to bring up. I said earlier that in the book, the character of Tony, who's the first of the villains to die, in the book, he's Gruber's brother, and not Carl's. So that may leave one to wonder, okay, why in the book does Carl want to kill McClane so badly? Well, here's the difference. In In the book, three of the bad guys are women, and one of them is Carl's little F buddy, let's say. And when Leland, aka McLean, kills her, that's when Carl snaps in the book and becomes the character he becomes. Lady V says they kind of look like women. Yeah, a couple of them kind of do, to be honest. Especially
It's
that guy who's got that samurai cop kind of hairdo. It's like,
yeah.
get a grip.
It's long hair.
Get a haircut, hippie. you know. Um, Unsure if I've seen. Rich Little actually plays Johnny Carson in a movie called The Late Shift. That was all about the late night wars with Leno and Letterman. It's a pretty good movie if you ever see it.
That's a lot of explosive.
Oh yeah. And buckle up, kids, because from here on in, the action does not quit. It's going to go straight through to the end.
This is totally a Christmas movie because you're in an office having a Christmas party. There's Christmas themes throughout the whole film. Christmas music. So the argument, if you were to argue with those who deny, it's totally a Christmas movie.
Now
Please come home for Christmas.
yeah. Now I brought up the fact that I had met Reginald VelJohnson because I was an extra in a movie that he was in. That movie is called Quiet Victory: The Charlie Wiedemeyer Story, and you can actually find it on Amazon. Uh, give it a look. It's a pretty good movie. Um, it was the same year as Die Hard, and the woman who plays the McLean's housekeeper, well, plays Holly's housekeeper, she is also in that movie as well. Yeah, they were, especially the guy who played Letterman. I mean, they're both good, but yeah. But the guy who plays Leno, you can tell they just kind of like stuck a fake chin on him. But the guy who plays Letterman is pretty spot on, looks wise. He gets shot with his own gun here. Rickman was good in the Robin Hood movie too. Yeah, yeah. He was good in everything, man.
Yeah.
He actually, if I remember correctly, he actually broke his leg making this movie, which is why a lot of the scenes with him are shot from like the waist up. It was just like this kind of freak accident thing that happened on set. John Michael Higgins was well. You reversed that. John Michael Higgins was Letterman, and Daniel Roebuck was Leno. And yeah, Kathy Bates was in that too. Yeah, she's like an insane, crazy person in that movie. Um, Bob Balaban is Warren Littlefield, and of course, as I mentioned before, Rich Little is Johnny Carson. Yeah.
I'm on your side, you assholes.
Uh, Bill, did you ever see a movie called Cracker Jack?
I sounds familiar.
It's kind of a Die Hard ripoff movie.
It sounded very familiar.
Starring the guy who played Terry Silver in Karate Kid.
Okay.
Yeah, and Christopher Plummer's kind of the ripoff Gruber in that movie. And there's a line where the military shoots at Terry Silver, and it's just, and he has that same line: "I'm on your side, you asshole." You know.
I love this scene.
Yeah.
All practical effect here. I
Yep.
mean, they had to do that and not blow down the building. Pretty amazing. There was no CGI.
And that helicopter pilot had to have balls of steel to be that close to the explosion.
Yeah. Yeah, that fire hydrant spindle's got to be pretty heavy. Almost pulled him over the edge. Now that was shot with a miniature,
Yeah.
but it looked pretty freaking realistic. We're gonna need some more FBI guys.
And not knowing that McClane was going to get loose in the building, they they don't know that Argyle is also technically loose in the building. So. Bullseye. Night night. Now, going back to the book for a moment, um, the book has a much darker ending. Not only does he take her out the window with him, we also find out that she's in on the plot.
Bye bye, Hans.
Yeah. And that look on his face is real because he didn't know they were going to drop him that soon. Claim derivation of the name MacLean from the Scottish clan MacLean originates Galeen of the battle axe. Nice. Fought a valiant battle against Vikings in 1263. Means my virtues are my honor. Nice.
Common trope. The villains always come back for one more.
Biggest cheer in the theater right here.
Great score. Also scored
Yeah.
Star Trek. The music sounds so similar. I believe it. Some of this was used in Star Trek.
It might have been. It's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from Nakatomi Tower. It doesn't.
You think that would be able to drive after hitting that ambulance van?
Now, to go back to the kind of the cynical 70s ending that the book has, when Carl kind of pops up there at the end, Powell uses Robinson as a human shield. And as Carl is just, filling Robinson up full of holes, that's when Powell takes him out.
Yes, indeed, words and pictures. Merry Christmas, everyone. Die Hard watch this season. May the real joy of the Christmas bless in each and every one of you. Thank you very much, words and pictures. Same to you, brother.
Right. The composer here was Michael Kamen, who also did the Lethal Weapon films, Open Range, and Band of Brothers. And hello, Hakami. Hakami says, this is a good movie, but Die Hard 3 is still my favorite. The third one's good. It's probably my favorite of the sequels.
Okay, ladies, I have a question for you. Next week, Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse or Patrick Swayze with Keanu Reeves in Point Break? You decide. Oh, you gentlemen are allowed to decide too. We got one vote for Keanu Reeves and Swayze. But you have the mustache guy in Roadhouse. You're welcome, Lady Miss.
Connie is abstaining.
She's abstaining.
Okay. Hakami says, I've only watched Point Break, so that's my vote. Lady Mist is also a Keanu fan. Dulcimera says Roadhouse is funny. I'd go with that. So, okay, we're tied. And breaking the tie as of right now, Mikey's saying Keanu Reeves. So, Point Break.
Okay.
All right. It is time to consult the scrolls. And of course, by scrolls, I mean IMDb Pro.
Um,
Uh,
To be fair, Connie, uh, Tu Wong Fu is actually a good movie. I mean, what Johnson Zagano really looks like a chick in that one.
all right. And thank you, Hakami. Uh, Die Hard was released July 20th, 1988, which is exactly 1 month after my 15th birthday. It was budgeted at an estimated 28 million, and worldwide grossed 143 million. Hold on. Filming locations included the Los Angeles International Airport, 10350 West Olympic Boulevard, which was the site of the former AM/PM market where Powell gets to call to check out Nakatomi Plaza. 20th Century Fox Studios, the Fox Plaza, 2121 Avenue of the Stars, Century City, Los Angeles, which subbed as the Nakatomi Building Interiors, 29th and 35th floors, and Stage 15 at 20th Century Fox Studios, which was the 31st floor in the vault room. All right. There are 210 pieces of trivia. Needless to say, we will not be going over all of them.
No, that could be a show on all in its own.
Yeah. Bruce Willis received a then unheard of $5 million fee, which was approved by Fox president Rupert Murdoch. Richard Gere was considered for the role of John McClane, but turned it down. He later worked with Bruce Willis on The Jackal. The scene where McClane falls down the elevator shaft was a mistake by the stuntman who was supposed to grab the first vent as it was originally planned. He slipped and continued to fall, but the shot was used anyway. It was edited together with the one where McClane grabs the next vent down when he falls. It is often said that Bruce Willis's lines during the scene where he pulls the glass out of his feet were ad-libbed. Indeed, it is said that upon learning this, Terry Gilliam cast Willis as the lead in 12 Monkeys. However, when comparing the original script, it appears that Willis only veered only slightly from the original written dialogue. All right. There are two FBI agent Johnsons and a Harvey Johnson who are characters in the film. This is an inside joke aimed at co-star Reginald VelJohnson. There are just too many Johnsons in this film. Die Hard with a Johnson. I don't know. Oh my God! It looks like a huge Johnson. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Are we still on the air?
Yes.
All right.
As far as I know.
Sorry. The bridge shown in Takagi's office is a work of Frank Lloyd Wright for the Bay Area in 1949. In the making of featurette, director John McTiernan revealed that a majority of the exterior shots of the building showing explosions were real. Full-scale explosions set off in and around the actual building, as you brought up during the show, Bill.
Yeah. No comments, says Connie.
The scene where Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman meet up was unrehearsed to create a greater feeling of spontaneity between the two actors. In the spring of 1987, producer Joel Silver and director John McTiernan attended a performance of the play Dangerous Liaisons, in which Alan Rickman played the evil Vicomte de Valmont. Immediately, Silver and McTiernan realized they had found their Hans Gruber.
Hmm.
All right. Much of the script was improvised due to the constant screenplay tweaks that were being made during filming. Hart Bochner's line, Hans, booby, was ad libbed. Alan Rickman's quizzical reaction was genuine. Yeah, what the fuck is this cokehead saying? And why is he in my office?
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, there's many, uh, there's much trivia to go into with this movie, and there's a number of YouTube channels that have covered this movie.
Yes.
Feel free to go and seek those out. All right, this is a fun one, folks. It is one of my personal all time favorite movies. Um,
It's going to be available on 4K, right?
yes,
Do you have a date for that? I don't know.
I believe that's going to be sometime in March.
Oh.
That was the last date I heard for it.
I'll probably get pre-orders in.
Yeah. Let me
Definitely
see
one.
real
Definitely
quick.
a standard to have in anybody's collection. Definitely. Words and pictures. Don't know why, but all I can think is Kung Fu Hustle. All right. Well, um, any more? Anything else?
Nope. Just if you want to learn more, as I said, IMDb Pro has pages of trivia, and of course, other channels have covered this film. Um, so go and seek those out. And of course, give the sequels a look if you haven't seen them. In particular, Part 3, which is more of a sequel to this movie because Gruber's brother shows up, played by Jeremy Irons, to
Mm-hmm.
wreak havoc on McClane's life. Um, uh, some people don't like 4. I think 4 is fine, in particular the uncut version.
Yeah.
5.
That's where they lost it.
5's where they lost it. Yeah, and
It kind of went in a way, woke in a way, more so.
yeah. And thank you, Lady V. And Merry Christmas to you too, Words and Pictures, and to all of you
Yes.
watching in both chats. Please, we did simulcast this show, so please give both Bill and I a like, share out the streams,
Yep.
say hello in the comments. Let us know what you would like to see in upcoming weeks.
So next week,
Five's the one with the sun. Yes.
next week I guess we'll be doing Point Break here.
Mhm.
Same time, same two channels.
All right.
We'll be having after hours karaoke on Saturday, and then Sunday we'll do Western cinema with the Three Amigos:
Mhm.
Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and Steve Martin.
All right.
Comedy Gold. Come join us.
All right. And I have my weekend update show this evening. As of right now, it is set for 11:15 Eastern as an approximate time. So join me there and find out what I'm going to be up to this weekend.
Oh God, words and pictures.
No,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not.
Definitely. Hell to the no.
Hell to the fuck no. No.
Good times.
Hmm.
Well, alrighty, ready.
Hmm.
Remember to be excellent to each other. Party on. Be safe. Have a great holidays. Maybe we'll see you some of you later.
Mhm.
Join us on Sunday. All right, I turn it over to you. Deleted.
All right. From HQ. Good night. Take care. Stay strong because this is how we win.
See you later, folks.